In college, each class has its own structure, and sticking to one learning style may not always be enough to keep up with the material. That's why it's helpful to know how you, as a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learner, can adapt across different types of classroom environments. Let's go over some strategies for each style so you can get the most out of any course. If you're a visual learner, you absorb information best when you can see it in front of you, like in charts, graphs, or diagrams. But in a lecture-heavy class with little visual content, you can try a few things to adapt. First, take notes using sketches or symbols to help you visualize key points. Second, after class, rewrite your notes into graphic organizers like mind maps or flowcharts, which can help reinforce what you learned in a format that makes sense to you. Finally, you could create flashcards with images or symbols related to each concept. This way, even if the lecture itself isn't very visual, you're still engaging with the content in a way that works for your learning style. For auditory learners who remember information best when they hear it, lecture-based classes are a natural fit. But for classes where you need to read independently or work on projects, you might feel a bit out of your element. One way to adapt is to record yourself reading important sections aloud and then listen to the recording when reviewing the material. Another trick is to participate in study groups where you can discuss the material out loud and ask questions. Explaining concepts to others is a powerful way to retain what you've learned. Lastly, if you're tackling a reading-heavy class, try using an audiobook version or text-to-speech software for certain readings, so you're still taking in the information in an auditory format. If you're a kinesthetic learner, you likely prefer a hands-on approach and learn best when you can move and actively engage with the material. This works well for lab classes, but in a lecture-heavy course, it can be challenging. One way to adapt is by taking detailed notes with frequent breaks to review and rewrite them. You could even add small doodles or sketches if it helps you stay focused. Another strategy is to relate what you're learning to real-world scenarios or try to connect it to something you can physically experience or imagine. Finally, when studying alone, make the material interactive. Use flashcards, quiz yourself, or practice drawing out complex ideas on a whiteboard. The key takeaway is that every class will challenge you to step outside your usual way of learning. By mixing in different techniques that work for your learning style, you can adapt and thrive in any classroom environment. College is all about discovering what strategies make learning easier and more effective for you. So keep experimenting with different methods until you find what helps you succeed.